The parents were furious. Why are you using our babies as bait? During this time, Bull O'Connor says, hey man, there's too many of these kids. He tells the policeman, get the fire hoses. Spray them with everything you've got. They start spraying them, but there's more kids coming out. He says, you know what? Let them loose. Let the dogs out. And one photographer captured this moment. And this moment went into the newspaper the next day, and it circulated the entire nation in 1 week. Everybody finally got to see it. Why? Because one person thought there has to be a way to flip my disadvantage into my greatest advantage. We're outgunned, we're outmanned, we're outmatched. But here's our advantage. We run on CP time. Here's our advantage. All these kids are willing to be part of a protest because they ain't got no jobs to lose. And all we need to do is just get Bull O'Connor to tip his hand just a little bit. I want the dogs to get loosed. I want them to spray with fire hoses, because if we could just capture the moment one time, that's all we need. Everybody in this room right now, we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about raising income. Everybody here is at a disadvantage. What's the disadvantage? You don't have a social media account. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have an audience. You don't have an offer. Everybody here is at a disadvantage. And I'm here to ask you the question, what if your greatest disadvantage could be used as your greatest advantage to help you launch yourself into the next level of your life? So it's a coin that I have been working on for some time, which I call the ambidextrous advantage. Somebody say ambidextrous. Now we know ambidextrous. Ambidextrous literally means the ability of a person to use both hands equally, right? That I can do with my left hand just as good with my right hand. Take this down, write this down. Judges chapter 3, verse 15 is a story where this principle, we find it in. Judges chapter 3, verse 15. We're not going to tell the whole story today. I want you to go home and read it. It is the story of a left-handed assassin by the name of Ehud in the Bible. Judges chapter 3, verse 15. Left-handed assassin. At the time of the narrative, nobody thought that a left-handed person would have the ability to kill a king and an oppressor who had been subjugating Israel for 18 years. Nobody thought it was possible. And what we don't realize is that in some of your biblical versions it says that he was shut up in his right hand, which actually means he was left-handed. But in the original language, it actually suggests that he could fight with his left hand just as good with his right hand. He was ambidextrous. And I want to ask you the question, what is your left hand? What is the thing that you have overlooked that you think is just not enough? So here's the definition for the ambidextrous advantage. It is the ability to leverage your liabilities into your legacy. One more time. It is the ability to leverage your liabilities into your legacy. All of us in here have a story. All of us in here have a situation. All of us in here have liabilities. The ambidextrous advantage family answers this question. Do you have the capability to flip? Somebody say flip. Somebody say flip. Flip one more time. Somebody say flip. To flip your disadvantages into your advantages. So, by show of hands, how many of you have seen shows like this? There was a show on Hulu called Flip or Flop. Real estate agents would travel Los Angeles, Atlanta, different major cities, and they would find these old abandoned properties, these decrepit properties, these overlooked properties. And they would take a property, acquire the property, renovate the property, reshape the property, and then sell that property for a profit. In the world of real estate, we call that flipping. Flipping is the ability to take what others have overlooked, what others have discarded, what others have thrown away, and ask yourself the question, this may have come into my life one way, but can I reshape it and repurpose it that it leads my life another way? Does that make sense so far? Mm-hmm. So, an example is the following. You take what came into your life one way, reshape it, rehabit it, flip it, and it leaves your life in a very different way than how you got it. To flip is to take what others consider as a liability and you turn it into your asset. Flipping is not just a real estate skill. Flipping is a real life skill. One more time. Flipping is not just a real estate skill. It is a real life skill. One more time. I need you to hear me. All of us are at a disadvantage right now. So this is how we're going to unlock your ambidextrous advantage today. There's a picture on the right. Most of us operate with the logical side of our brains today. I want to unlock the ambidextrous side of your brain. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to start working on divergent thinking, on dexterity. There is a white brick on the left side of the screen. For the next 2 minutes, I want you to write down all the different ways, listen to me very well, all the different ways that a brick can be valuable to someone. I want you to write down all the different ways that a brick can be used as a valuable resource to someone. Now, this is a white brick, which means it's a blank canvas. I want you to think divergently, creatively. How could I take a brick? How many ways can I use a brick? I'm going to ask you one more time, and then we're going to start the timer. How many different ways can a brick be used as a valuable resource? If you're ready, let me hear you say yes. Yes. All right, your timer starts now. 2 minutes. Come on. I want you to think in dexterity. Think in dexterity. How many different ways can a brick be used as a valuable resource to someone? Think of all the different ways. This is a white brick. It's a blank canvas. Think of anything that is shaped in a 3D rectangular form as the picture on the screen. How many different ways can a brick be used? How many different ways can a brick be valuable? How many different ways can you sell a brick? I want you to start thinking this way. It's just a white brick. What can you do with a brick? We're talking about flipping your disadvantages. What can you do with a brick? One more minute. One more minute. All right, let's get to work. I'm going to work with this table right here. Sister Blair, give me one thing you found. Measuring tool. Very good, very good. Let me get this table right over here. Selling it or exchanging for something else. All right. This table right here. Anybody? Self-defense. Very good. This table right here. Art. Talk to me, Doc. What you got?
Cooking tool.
Cooking tool. All right. So I have to ask you, why did no one say a gold brick? Good. Why did no one say, or rather, let me not say why did no one. Did you think of a Lego brick? No. All right. Did you think of a brick to level an uneven table? Good. I heard somebody say a weapon. Good. As a seat. Good. Workout equipment. Good.
Workshop illustration.
Workshop illustration. Very good, right? So watch it now. How big was the brick? What was the brick made of? What shape was the brick? Does the brick have holes? But no. You didn't see holes in your mind. No, see, this is what I want you to see. This is what I want you to see. Because we have the tendency to minimize what God wants us to maximize. And you tend to overlook the things you have. Moya, yesterday we were doing on the workshop, and Pastor Hines asked the question, well, what do you do? And she said, I do hair here and there. Just here and there. And I think that's the problem. We do things so well, we think it's not that valuable. We think nobody else would care. But we already identified yesterday what you play at, other people work at. And what you have to work at, other people play at. And there are things that are unique to you that nobody else has. But you tend to look at it as a disadvantage, as not enough. And I'm telling you that what you have is more than enough. You're right. You didn't see holes in the brick because you didn't see the holes in the brick in your mind. I want you to start thinking in an ambidextrous way, in a different way. What else can I do with this? So let's keep it going. Paperweight, door stopper. You can build a house with a brick. You can hold a plant. You know that most trophies have a brick as the base. You can use it as the core. Weight training, break a window, flagpole, gold brick, flotation device, children's story, a wedge. And the list continues. Now, all these things, depending on the usage, can you sell that brick, yes or no? Yes. And the question is, if you can take a simple brick and just flip it over and over and over, and if you get tired, do it again. And if you're exhausted, just keep. How else can I turn this thing into my advantage? Because your brick is not my brick and my brick is not your brick. But everybody got bricks. Does that make sense so far? Yes. So let's get to work. Everyone at this moment has a disadvantage. And one of the main disadvantages is visibility. Here it is. You can have a great business idea. You can have a great offer. The problem is, don't nobody know you. There's an old adage, where's the best place to sell hot dogs? And the answer is in front of a hungry crowd. Yeah. The problem is we all don't have a crowd that is hungry for what you have. That's the main thing. We need visibility. People need to know that you have a solution to their problem. Now, deeper than visibility is the following. What I have is not enough. That's what everybody starts off thinking. What I have is not enough. What does that look like? I'm too old. I'm too young. I got too many kids. I don't have the time. I don't have a job. I don't have money to start anything. I don't have an online account. I can't keep up with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and some of y'all be like, I text with one finger. It takes me forever to text. You think that what you have is not enough. So, here's how we're going to flip it. If you're ready, let me hear you say yes. Yes. Everybody knows that Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. The challenge is none of us can relate to Michael Jordan at the peak of his career, winning 6 championships. The gap is too great. Can't relate to that. And we hear the story of Michael Jordan who won championship rings. But we rarely hear the story of Michael Jordan who was cut from the basketball team as a sophomore. And this is what I'm telling you. You need to be visible about what's going wrong in your life. And this is why. Because we're at a point in social media, people are tired of seeing the curated, perfect life because they can't relate to that anymore. Life is not perfect. Life is not full of filters. Life is not trips to Cancun and Dubai every other week. That's not the reality. Life is not, relationship goals all the time. I thought I would have heard one amen. Right through there. But people can relate not to the Michael Jordan who won the 6 championship rings. People can relate to the Michael Jordan who got cut from his sophomore basketball team. And we want to know the question, Mike, what did you do the day after? Show me how you made it. Show me what you did in the summer between sophomore year and junior. Show me that. Show me the grind. Show me the work. Show me what you're learning. Show me the insight you gained. Show me what didn't work for you. Show me the journey. People want to see the journey. Why? Because if they see you on the journey, they begin to trust you. Yep. And people do not exchange the money in their pocket for people who they don't trust. You exchange the money in your pocket to people, organizations, companies who you do trust. Am I making sense so far? Yeah. So, I need you to write this down, and we're done. You need to be on social media. This is not an option. You can have a great product, you can have a great idea, but if nobody knows you, you're not selling to nobody. Now, I know what you're thinking, Pastor, I don't do the social media. Yes, you do. Yes, you will. Pastor, I don't want to be in front of a camera. You don't have to be. We as humans receive information 3 different ways: verbal, visual, or written. You could do one, combination of 2, or a combination of all 3. Saying, Pastor, I'm not really a talker. Okay, don't talk. Post pictures. You could write a caption. Pastor, I'm not really, I don't want to have my face out there. Okay, write. Pastor, I'm not really a writer, but I can talk. Then yap. Put a camera on and start yapping. Now, here's the advantage. Most of you who are over 45 years and over, you have more of an advantage than I do. Here is why. I may be a bit more tech savvy, but you have more experience that you can pull from. You have more life lessons that you can teach to my generation and the ones under me who are always on social media. You have something that I don't, life experience. You have the credibility that you've been through the fire and the muck and the mud. You have it, but I don't know it if you don't show me. So, I want you to start writing these down right now. If I were to ask you, I want you to come up here in the next 10 minutes, and I want you to talk about whatever it is that you are most knowledgeable about, without you having to prepare, without you having to write down any notes. What are 5 topics that you are most knowledgeable about? From the top of your head, you can talk for a straight hour. No notes, no script, no bullet points. Some of you saying, listen, you tell me you give me a microphone and you ask me to talk about how to raise kids, I can raise you some kids. Some of you saying, listen, you give me a microphone and you want me to talk about how to fix things, I can fix things. You talk about cutting lawn, I can cut a lawn. You talk about braiding, I can braid hair. You talk about making flyers, digital products, I can make a digital. Whatever it is, I'm good at this. And it could be either your pain, your passion, or your profession. Those are the 3 areas that you become most knowledgeable about. Your pain, your profession, or your passion. Some of you can talk about divorce. You've been through that pain. You can relate to people who have been through the loss of a loved one. Some of you know what it's like to go overseas and go to war. You can relate to that. Some of you know what it's like to be the only person of color in a certain field. You can relate to that. Some of you, you've been in a profession for the last 5 years, 15 years, 20 years. You can talk about this thing like, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. 5 things. Now, then I want you to write down the 5 things you are growing in. What are the 5 interests? Like, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm really like invested in this. So like, I'm really invested in entrepreneurship. I really like this stuff. I'm really invested in marriage. I've only been married for 2 years. I'm really invested in this thing. I'm really invested in personal development. It's something that I enjoy. I'm really invested in building wealth and money management and finances. I'm invested in this thing. I'm learning about it. So watch it now. Here's a strategy, and we're done. You will post every day. Every day? Every day. You will post. No, you have no option. You will post every day. Pastor, that's too hard. You're right. It is hard. What I'm telling you is simple. I am not telling you that it is easy. I am telling you this is hard. But guess what? Being married is hard and being divorced is hard. So choose your hard. Staying fit is hard and being overweight is hard. So choose your hard. Being broke is hard. Come on, now somebody say amen. Amen. And being rich is hard. So choose your hard. I am not telling you that this is easy. I am telling you it is simple. You will post every day. You will. Pastor, where do I post? Do you got a Facebook? Post on there. And listen to me. Do not expect that whatever you post is going to be a grand slam. It will not. We are at the stage of reps. You got to get as many reps out there. Why? Because the more you do it, the better you get at it. You ain't never seen a baby get better at walking by crawling. They get better at walking by walking. You don't get better at riding a bike by looking videos on YouTube on how to ride a bike. You get better at riding a bike by riding the bike. You fall, scrape your knee, scrape your elbows, hit your head on the concrete. You get up and do it again. And again and again and again. This is about reps. Every single day you will post. Day 1. Start with honesty. Share a real struggle. The shift I'm making, the insight I've gained. Say, listen, this is day 1 of becoming an entrepreneur at the age of 55. That's your caption. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I went to this little upgrade conference thing that my pastor put on. I think he in over his head. But I'm going to do it anyways. Because I got to take care of my wife. I got to take care of my husband. You know, my kids are coming back in. They can't get no jobs. So my grown kids came back to live with me in the basement. People can relate to that. Because how many other people are 55, trying to retire, and their grown kids have come back to live with them in the basement? Share the insight. Listen, y'all, this is day 365 of being rejected from X school for the second time. People can relate to being rejected from a job application, from a school, from an opportunity. Day 1. Now, this doesn't have to be a video. It can be. You can just write it. You can record yourself walking your dog. The camera is facing outward, not to you. And just write on the screen a text. Day 7 of being a divorced person. That's it. That's the whole thing. Reps. Day 1. Share something honest. Share the struggle, the shift you're making, because what we want to build is trust. I want to know that you're a real human being I can relate to. If I can relate to you, I will buy from you. All right, here we go. Day 2, show what you're building. Show me your workflow. Give me a screenshot. Show me the behind the scenes. So here it is. You get your camera. You point the camera towards you. You press record. You type on the computer for 1 minute. Stop the recording. That's your video. And you put your caption. Workflow. Building my website. Working on my offer. Started writing my book. That's it. Just show me what you're working on. I want you to document your life. Don't create something new. Just show me what you're already doing. Show me your morning routine. Show me how you study your Bible. Just show me what you do. People want to know, oh, wow, I can relate to that. Or, wow, can you teach me how to do more of that? Pastor, I don't want to use no camera. Write it down. You got a Facebook? Tell them, day 3 vlog. This is what I did. This is what I'm working on, la-da-da-dee. And the more you write, the better you get at writing. Day 3, let's go. Teach a part of your process. Teach a decision that you made. Teach a technique, an insight to help people understand why and how you think. Show me how you bake red velvet cake. I've been struggling. I don't know how to get it down. Just show me. Show me your great, great, great auntie grandma from your cousin's 4th side. Show me that secret recipe. Show me. And there are some of you, the way you get a point A to point B is very different than how the average person gets to point A to point B. Show me how you got to thinking the way you think. Am I making sense? Show me how you got there. Like, people ask me all the time, Max, I want you to show me how exactly do you craft your messages together? Because Max, like, people tell me all the time, the way you say things and the way you compile your words, it just makes it stick. It just makes it memorable. Because there's a certain way that when I write my messages every week, there's just something that I do every single time to make it sound the way I want it to sound every single week. How do you do that, Max? How did you get there? What did you read? Who did you study under? What do you listen to? Just show me what you're doing. Show me what you do best. Show me a technique. Show me how you budget. Some of you, I'm not going to look at nobody. There's somebody in this room, they do their own hair so well that people always ask this person, did you go to the salon? And there are some of you, you're like, yo, I cannot braid my own hair and twist my own hair for the life of me. And someone's like, I would pay someone to show me how to do that. So I don't have to spend $300 every month at the hair salon. Just show me what you do. All right, day 4. Aim for reach, trending video, audio, pair with my message. Trending is just another word for popular. Somebody say popular. So today is February the 8th. What is something happening today that is very popular? Super Bowl. So today's a good example. How do you take your message, your offer, the thing that you do? How do you pair it with what's trending today? Everything online is going to be about the Super Bowl. So you might as well put your 2 cents in. Everything about the Super Bowl is going to get pushed on your timeline today. So if people are going to look at stuff about the Super Bowl, they might as well look at your stuff too. You might as well get the traction. Now, here's the beautiful thing about social media. Because of how God made us, we cannot be omnipresent. We are physically stuck to this location in this moment in time right now. Social media gives you the ability to be omnipresent. You post something today, and somebody sees it 6 days from now. And the message is still the same, still as powerful, still as relevant. Trending is just another word for popular. What's popular right now? And how do I tie what's popular today with what it is that I offer? Somebody's saying, listen, man, like I love health. Health is my thing. I'm a life coach. Well, how do I pair my life coach expertise with the Super Bowl today? I don't know. That's for you to figure out. How do I pair my expertise in academia and higher education with the Super Bowl today? That's for you to figure out. How do I pair my expertise with postpartum depression and pregnant mothers and, child maternal health with the Super Bowl today? That's for you to figure out. That's the brick. Flip it. Flip it over and over. Day 5. Let's get to work. Share what didn't work. What failed. What changed? Show me. Listen, man, I put $5,000 into this startup company and it failed. And this is why it failed. Me and my wife have been going into marriage there because it's not working. This is what's been failing in my marriage. Show me that. I tried to go for this exam and I failed the exam. Show me that. Show me the struggle. Show me what's not working. Because if it's not working for you, more than likely it's not going to work for me. And people will pay to avoid the landmines that you had to step on. People will pay to get there faster and in less pain than what you had to go through. Am I making sense so far? Good. Day 6, document one real day in the life. Show the discipline, the effort, the work, the failures. Again, just document. Just show me what you're doing. Lastly, day 7, recap what you learned, what you built. Show me what's coming next. Man, listen, I want to start this practice. First thing I had to do is I had to scope out, some properties to lease. This is what I did. Because there's somebody's like, man, I want to start my own practice. I've never bought property before. How do I do that? Well, look, she's already doing it. There's someone saying, man, I want to start my own little bakery business. How do I do that? Well, look, she's already 6 months ahead of me. I want to do what she does. Man, I want to become a barber. Oh, he's already been doing it for a year. Let me see what he does. Because I can relate to someone who's a year ahead of me. I cannot relate to someone who's 40 years ahead of me. Because the gap is too great. There's too many little nuances in the middle that I missed. I want you to show me the daily grind. How did you get there? Show me the how. Am I making sense so far? Every day you will post. Take your disadvantage. Show me the disadvantage. Show me how you're flipping the disadvantage. So here's an example, family. There's a young man on the screen. Does he look familiar to you? At the time of this picture, I was 14, 15 years old. My mom had told me, you got 3 options. You're either going to juvenile, you're going to military school, or you're going to this boarding academy called Forest Lake Academy in Orlando, Florida. She said, but the one option that is not available is you staying here. That is not an option no more. Since the age of 14, 15, I have not lived with my mom ever since. Getting in trouble at school. And one of the main reasons I got in trouble at school was because I talk a lot. Does anybody know what I get paid to do for a living now?
Talk a lot.
We're talking about disadvantages today. Now, I had this job in the summer in Kissimmee, Florida. And in the world of corporate America, they call it door-to-door marketing. In the world of Adventism, we call it literature evangelism. Canvassing, if you will. I was selling books in hot Florida. 80, 90, 100-degree weather. Door-to-door. Easily 50 pounds of books. Door-to-door. For easily 8 to 9 hours. Just trying to sell these daggone books. Now, you all should know, a few years before this, my mom tried to start a business. My mom was trying to make her own hummus and sell it. She tried it for like 3 months, didn't really work out. And my mom said one day in the kitchen, she's like, man, we're just not business people. And I never forgot that. And I just settled, yeah, maybe we're just not business people. It happens for others, but maybe it just doesn't happen for me. It's worked out for others, it just doesn't work out for us. I was terrible at this. Made no money. Basically wasted my time. I said, man, I'm just not a good salesman. I can't do this stuff. I don't sell, maybe I'm just not a business person. Couldn't sell. Didn't sell. Didn't make no money. door-to-door marketing. And all of a sudden, January 1st, 2025, I get this message from the president of Morris College, HBCU down in Sumter, South Carolina. Max, man, I want you to call me. We got to connect. We talk. Next thing I know, Max, I want you to be the keynote speaker at Morris College for freshman orientation. How did that happen? Because I was so terrible at selling door to door. But I learned some things. I said, wait a minute, this don't make no sense. I'm walking up to people randomly. I am a stranger. You should know something about me. When I was in high school, I wore like 2X clothes. Yeah. There was a polo that we had to wear for literature evangelism. I would take off that polo once they dropped us off, and I would switch my polo into like some like Mark Echo 2X shirt. Y'all must not know what I'm talking about. And I'd walk around with braids in my hair, 2X shirt, baggy jeans, and black Air Forces. And I would stand like this. How you doing, man? I got some books. You want them? That was my sales pitch. Terrible. I realized, I said, wait a minute. Of course, my presentation could have been better. However, I said, these people don't know me. And I keep telling them, do you want a book? And I realized, what if they don't want a book? I don't want to sell to you what you don't want. Come on, I want to sell to you what you do want. People always have, you've heard the illustration, sell me this pen. Well, do you want the pen? No. Okay. What are you in the market for? What are you looking for right now? I'll sell you that. Because I only want to sell you. I only want to give you what you want. And what you want is a solution to a problem that you have. That's it. I said, so number one, I got to find a problem to solve. Number two, me going door to door is a waste of my time because I can only reach certain amount of doors in a day. I physically cannot move that fast with a 50-pound bag of books, but I can reach more people with just the click of a button on my phone. I can reach more people that way. So I said, number one, I got to figure out how do I give people what they want. Number two, I got to figure out how can I reach the most amount of people. So when you sell door to door, there's a rule of thumb. For every 10 doors, you're going to get 9 no's and 1 yes. So if I get to 100 doors, how many doors will potentially say yes? 10. If I get to 1,000 doors, how many doors will say yes? So I need to increase the amount of doors. But if I do that in person, it's going to take me too long. But I can do that better online. So I need to increase the amount of people that I see online. That's what I started doing. Talking online. Who am I talking to? I began to talk to the person who I was. Who was I? A disengaged, single parent home, only child, inner city kid who did not care about school, who was just indifferent about everything. By the way, my GPA was lower than gas prices. And we're not talking about gas prices right now. We're talking about gas prices in 2015. I helped that kid to get his shift together. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I got to help that kid. But that kid don't know he need help. So I got to find a way to reach the educator who has a deep care for that kid. Because that kid doesn't even have the verbiage to vocalize the problem that he's going through. But the educator does. So I have to make what I make online to speak to that kid and speak to the educator to say, yo, this guy has a story that I think can relate to my students. I need him to come here. This guy has a story that relates to my youth. I need him to come here. Posting. All of a sudden, here it comes. So I decided, you know what? My time is very valuable. I got to find a way. How can I make myself even more omnipresent? Because everywhere I go, I'm still just stuck to that physical location. How can I take what I know and condense it into something that can still be a solution to a problem that I still see in my generation? And so I decided I'm going to write this book. Started writing the book in 2023, published the book last week, put out the book. Now, mind you, over the last 2 years, I've just been doing what I showed you. Every day, I post something. Every day. Like clockwork. Every day. Sometimes twice a day if I missed the other day. Every day. Over time, okay, we see what Max is about. We see the reputation of Max. We trust Max. He's about that grind. We know his story. We know his business. We know what he does. He's someone that we can trust. And the moment I drop this book, sale. Because I'm talking about the book, and that's all I talk about. But I don't talk about the book to say, hey, buy my book. I say, hey, this is the book. I didn't write this book for me. I wrote this book for you. This is what this book is about. This is how it's going to help you. And people say, wow, that book does help me because I am articulating their own problem better than they can. Because I've been obsessing over the problem that they have, which is these educators and these youth leaders and these young adult leaders don't know how to engage the young adults. But there's nobody who can better engage a young adult than a young adult. It's me. Right? I am 28. I can still relate to the 18-year-old. I'm still within that gap. I can still relate. It's only 10 years ago. I still remember what it was like to be at Oakwood and not have a major. I remember what it was like being at Oakwood and not going to class, and instead, Vandion, I would be at the outside court behind Holland wasting my time. I'm not even a hooper. Not even a hooper. But I can relate to that disengaged, disinterested young man. I get it. So I said, hey, y'all, here's the book. And people have been buying the book in the last week. But I'm not selling them the book. Or am I? But they don't feel pressured to buy. I'm not salesy. I'm saying, hey, here's the offer. I have clearly articulated your problem better than you can. And now I am telling you I have a solution. Do you want it or not? Say yes or say no. But tell me now, because I got to go. Because if you don't say yes or no, someone else will. So tell me now, because the longer I wait with you, the longer I get to the next person who does want the solution. Why? Because I found a way. How can I flip my disadvantage? How can I take all the things that have going wrong in my life, all the things that are not working? So family, I'm done. This book was released last week. You want to know why? Because Barnes & Noble has been giving me a hard time publishing this book. I wanted to have physical copies by this month. Put it in the office, get ready for them to sell. And couldn't do it. Watch it, disadvantage. I wanted to have it by a certain time frame, and I couldn't get it. I said, well, you know what? Barnes & Nobles, they charge $8 per book to print. So I have to put the book at a certain price to make enough of a profit. Does that make sense? Okay. I said, wait a minute. A physical book is going to require physical resources. Remember, we're flipping it. But you know what? I can make the book an ebook that costs zero to make because it's digital. That's all it is. So I don't have to charge the book at $30. I'll just charge the book at $14.99. And guess what? The people who I'm reaching, they are broke, but they're not that broke that they don't have $14.99. I know you got $14.99 because you spend more than that at Chick-fil-A. The disadvantage, I can't get the book published, so I'll make it digital. And now when people buy it, they don't have to wait for it to be shipped. It goes directly to the phone in less than 10 seconds. Done. Disadvantage. Flip it. Flip it. Flip it. This is what we call the ambidextrous advantage. It is your ability to leverage your liabilities into your legacy. It is the ability to take what came into your life one way, reshape it, rehabit it, repurpose it, and then it leaves your life a different way than how it came. It is the ability to take a liability and turn it into an asset. I want you today to walk and say, okay, how can I take all the things that I consider a disadvantage right now, and how do I simply flip it? So here it is. If you want, there's a resource. You can scan this with your phone at this time. Scan it. There's a resource there. The offer is there for you. You can take it or leave it. It is up to you. Something that I believe will help you to continue in this journey. Let me move out of the way. And please, 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 if you decide to take this resource, make sure that you do apply it. Make sure that you do work at it. Make sure that you consistently do it every single day. And listen, at this time, I'm going to open up real quick for any Q&A. And then we will have our intermission. We'll get our brunch. And then we will come back to make sure that we can be ready to hear Pastor Hines in his second presentation. Yes, ma'am.
It's probably in the book, but can you tell us at least one thing that helped you to make a shift from where you were to where you are now?
Yes, one thing that helped me make the shift was I have a deathly fear of being broke. Deathly fear. Like, I would rather face Jaws than be broke. And it really clicked when I got married. Because, right, no choice, right? Now, listen, this is an unpopular opinion. I actually think that pastors get paid decently, in my opinion. We have a salary and we have all these benefits. Objectively speaking, we're not living large, but we're also not like broke. Like if you manage your finances, you do well. So living by myself in Columbus, Ohio, I was doing fine. Right, I was doing fine. When I got married, I realized, wait a minute, it's a whole different ballgame. And then, you all know the story, my wife lost her job. That was the click. I said, no, I got to find a way. So, Christelle, to answer your question, it was pain, right? And I've had to find a way. How can I repurpose this pain into something that I can make more of, right? I don't have a lot of money, but I do have the ability to communicate. How do I find a way to communicate what I need to say to the masses in a way that I can reach as many people as I can? Could I do the physical book? Well, the physical book didn't work. So I made a digital book, just like that. Yes, sir.
I'm sure many people might be wondering this. Where did you find the time to do that? What steps did you take?
To find the time to write the book specifically? Very good question. My wife can tell you, for a period of my life, I was waking up like at 4 a.m. So here's what I have found, right? Usually for most of us, our day starts, 8, 9 o'clock. And our day may end 5 o'clock, 6, some of us maybe earlier. So I realized when the day gets going, there's so much that happens in the day, I may not have the time. So you got two options. Either you do it before the day starts, or you do it after the day ends. Right? I can't control what happens between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., those 12 hours, because life just happens. Things come up, you have errands, flat tire, whatever. You got to pick up your clothes from the dry cleaner, whatever the case may be. Got to pick up the kids, the basketball game got canceled, whatever. So at the end of the day, I had to ask myself the question, what do I want more? Do I want sleep more, or do I want success more? That's how I did it. Yes, sir.
I just want to ask a question. When I scan, I'm not getting the website or whatever.
Okay.
And I just wanted to check to see if anybody else had the same problem.
Yes, I got it.
I
I took her straight to the website. So just
Oh,
go
this was the
straight to
website.
The one Max Gomez. Yeah, just the letter the, or not the letter the word the number one, maxgomez.com. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
What do you think of being broke? I have the same thing, but tell me where you're.
Fear of being broke. Oh, so I remember, let me give you an example. When this was maybe 8th grade or 9th grade, I wanted to play basketball, JV. And I said, Mom, I got to get these shoes. And I was like, yo, I got to get these D-Rose 1. Derrick Rose, I come out with these shoes with Adidas. I said, Mom, I got to get these shoes. I mean, this is the shoes I need to be a hooper. She's like, listen, I'm already 2 months late on the rent. Single mom, no other kids, just me and her. At the time, we were living in one room in the house of somebody else. And we had done that for years because my mom couldn't afford any place by herself. Yo, I can't afford no basketball shoes. I thought, I'm going to have to take, these little janky Nike Dunks and we're going to call it a day. Game day comes. This is the only game that my mom ever went to. Only game. Gets there. A few minutes before the game, she says, here. Shows me a black and red box. I open the box. The shoes are in there. I say, yo, Ma, I appreciate you. Play the game. We get back home. I unlock the door, walk into the apartment, and my mom walks straight in. Now, that's unusual because my mom has the habit of turning on the lights. I say, why wouldn't you turn on the lights? I said, Ma, why didn't you turn on the lights? She says, Max, go get your candles.
Yeah.
I said, never again. I said, never again. That's why.